Hey, besties. Okay, so, I mean, I kind of have to do a Willow Creek one, right? And I sort of started off wrong, like in the wrong order, because I did Oasis Springs first, even though technically Willow Creek is like the first world. But like, if I did one for Oasis Springs, I kind of have to do one for Willow Creek. And Willow Creek just has so many iconic Sims in it, specifically the goth. So two Sims in this what if video are goth related. And so the first one we're doing right now is Alexander Goth, and in like their little household info section, I think Mortimer or Bella is like worried that Alexander will be like grow up to be gloomy too. So I was like, what if he did? And also, what if like we jumped to like the Sims 2 timeline where like Bella's missing and missing for like most of his childhood, all of his teenhood, and now he's like a young adult. And so I wanted him to sort of dress a bit like her in terms of like making sure there's something red in his outfit at like all times, because I feel like he would really love to just have that little bit of his mother like represented in his like everyday wear. And I made him like really formal, like very stereotypical goth family formal. And I do believe I make him like gloomy, because I can imagine like with a childhood like that, like there's no way that he wouldn't be gloomy. At the very least, depressed at like the very worst. And yeah, I went for like a fluffy hairstyle because I don't know, it's like not so polished, because like he kind of has to be polished because like goths, you know, they have like an appearance to maintain, but like he's also a little depressed. And so I don't think he takes that much time to like really do his hair. I think he just like gets a cut and then sort of shakes it around and then goes. And I have in his like sleepwear and his athletic wear, and I believe it's like swimwear, there's like a variation of that style where like the front bits are like pushed to the back. And yeah, I feel like that it's about as much effort as he can really put into his appearance. And I'm pretty sure in The Sims 3, Alexander like starts looking for his mom like in the timelines or something like that, and it like he like leaves evidence and like books and stuff. Like they're little bits of lore that continue like the Sims 2 timeline in the Sims 3. And so I was kind of thinking that this was like before he starts like looking for his mom, but he's like still depressed. But like science-y depressed, because I think he's like a scientist of some kind. But I'm actually so happy that I like made over his face, because like the actual Alexander Goth face when he ages up is terrible. So bad. And then we move on to another Sims 2 sort of what if sim. And this is like literally like same space and time, I guess. Like Alexander and him wouldn't exist at the same time, because this is a Dina and Mortimer kid. And he'd be a teen because he would be younger than Alex and Cassie. And so I didn't think he would be a young adult, because like at the very least, Alexander would have been a child when he was born, like a slightly older child when he was born. If Dina gets like pregnant immediately after she tries to like marry and gold dig Mortimer. So like I just wanted to see what that would look like, especially with like the way that those two look with like their Sims 4 makeovers, and also my makeovers of their Sims 4 makeovers. So I wanted to see like what a child from them would look like. And I was extremely tempted to make a girl. But like I was really trying, because I knew that I wanted to do like 2 girls 2 boys, and like where else was I gonna get a boy from? So I decided to just like imagine what he would look like and like sort of his personality. And so I think he's like very rich kid, like specifically rich boy. And so I made him dress like pretty fancy. He has like fancy earrings, but he also has like a really cool guy, quote unquote, sort of hairstyle. And he only gets polished for, I think, formal wear. But aside from that, it's very casual. I think it's very like trendy, very, I want to say Katrina approved, like Katrina in my lore approved. I feel like she would really like this kid because I think he does really like designer brands, and like I think he takes a lot of pride in his appearance and stuff. And he also really loves a good jacket, like a good leather designer jacket. I feel like that's it. For his everyday wear, I think he has like a Letterman jacket, because I definitely feel like he'd play like football or something. Like very stereotypical. But I don't have him wear like much red, if any, because red is Bella's color. And obviously wouldn't really be associated with Bella because she disappeared way before he was born. Well, way before is kind of a stretch, but you know, that's how he got there. So instead I have him wear more like yellow and like black, obviously because goth. And I think yellow is Dina's color in my canon. So like I tried to have that sort of be represented a little bit. And I named him Daniel because I feel like he needed like a formal name. But it had to start with a D because Dina, you know, I don't think she would have accepted anything less. And then I used my like made over sims for like all of these what if scenarios, but the Iggy pancakes that I initially had, I did not like the way that he looked aged up. So I made a different Iggy, and the what if is still the same because like technically Iggy isn't like he's canon because Max has put him on the gallery, but like he's technically not in their like households info because like they haven't gotten there yet. But like obviously like, their marriage is like failing, so I imagine that Iggy does not help because children never help that situation. But I think maybe it'll help them see that like they sort of have to either decide if they still want to like be together or, and yeah, and I think that like I had a lot of fun making this Iggy because I really wanted a girl. Like and so I low-key feel like this Iggy was the same Iggy and they just like transitioned as they got into like a teenager, because like she looks exactly like the one that I had before, just aged up. And I was really trying to balance between Eliza's features and Bob's features. So she has Bob's hair and face, obviously like almost his entire face. And then I gave her like freckles from Eliza and glasses from Eliza, and she has Eliza's eye color. But I wanted to balance out the hair color a little bit more to something in between black and red. So I went for like a brown because I feel like that would be like, that makes sense to me. And she's just really chill. I wanted to keep her very casual, a little like quote unquote nerdy. And I think it'd be so interesting to think that like Iggy and Daniel like go to like the same school together because like they live in the same town. So like it makes sense that they would go to like the same high school. And yeah, I just think that's so cool to think of, and I wish that we could do that because high school years kind of failed us there. Like being able to make like neighborhood high schools and have like the kids from that neighborhood attend that, like I just think that would have been cooler instead of it just being one high school for everyone. But I finally got to use that hair that I said I've been wanting to, and it has like the cutest little bows on the side, and I thought that was like perfect. It's very, very girly and I like that. So I wanted to keep her style more girly and like casual and very chill. And green obviously is like Eliza's color. I realized that like low-key I treat my Sims like they're from a Game of Thrones family. And like usually Game of Thrones has like colors tied to each family, especially like the historical families. And especially when they like marry in between families, they really try to represent both colors and like the kids and stuff. And I realized that like that's literally how I mix it. And it was completely unintentional. I really never meant for that to be a thing that I do, but like I color code every single Sim. And especially with like the iconic Sims families, like I really do treat them like Game of Thrones family. Like goths have to wear black and red, especially if they're related to Bella. They have to make sure that they represent some kind of red. I feel like going back, like Alexander's case is very particular because like he's more like mourning her. So it's not just to like represent her, but it's like to have like a little bit of her with him all the time. So he's wearing a lot more red than I feel like I would normally have him wear if we were like on the Sims 4 timeline and she's like not disappeared and she's there still throughout like his entire childhood and stuff. But yeah, there really isn't that much to say about Icky. I wanted an excuse to see what a female version of Icky would look like and like how they would, like they as in Eliza and Bob, how they would like change. Low-key I wanted to change their like dynamics and stuff, but I left it because I didn't want to get that deep into it. It was just more for me to see what their kid would look like. And then so the last sim for the What If Willow Creek edition, I wanted to do Olivia because she's very iconic to me and I enjoy her a lot. And I realized in like the household info for their household that I'm pretty sure Olivia's like a sunshine kid. And so I was like, well, what if the sunshine kid grew up into a more alternative woman? And like she dressed in like dark colors and stuff, and like she wasn't so sunshiny as like she got older. Not in like personality, because I think her personality could kind of go here or there because she is still a goofball, but like appearances. Because I usually, as a child, like I usually have her wear like all the bright colors with like all the pretty clips and stuff. Like she's very sunshine kid to me. And so I've never really styled her adult version like this, so I really wanted to do that and see how that would look. And I really like it, and it all came from this one hairstyle where it's like the curls are like over to the side. It's like a faux hawk kind of, but not really. But I really like it. And I also got these like a little eyebrow CC pack that had some like slit eyebrows, but in like a more Maxis Match texture, which I've been desperate for quite some time. And so I was just really happy that I got some of that. And so that's sort of what inspired this. And I made sure to really accessorize her. I gave her a septum piercing and a bunch of like ear piercings. It came with like a set basically. And then Also, like, I try to give her like rings and stuff where I can, and she has that like sort of messed up smudged nail polish for like all of her outfits. And yeah, like not every outfit is like alternative. Some of them are just like dark colors, you know? And like her formal wear is just like a basically like floor length dress, like turtleneck dress with like really long sleeves. I just thought that was like such a fun piece, and so I really wanted to use it. And I was finally able to use more of the, I like to lovingly call it the Black People kit from, I believe, is it Ebonic Sims that made it? I'm pretty sure it's Ebonic Sims. And I, again, lovingly call it the Black People kit because it's just, it had such really nice things, and it was like one of the first creator kits, if not the first, I think. And it was just, it was great, and clearly it started something. Because now we're getting creator kits like all the time for like all different things, and I'm just really happy that we can get that, like we have it right now. And yeah, I was finally able to use one of the like tops from there because it's such a perfect like party wear top. I just didn't know how I wanted to use it. And also I've really been trying to use more like game assets lately and not rely so heavily on CC. Obviously I'm still using CC. That's very obvious. But like I've also really been enjoying some things from the game, especially from like kids and stuff. Like some of those things are really nice, you know, especially when they like collab with creators. And so yeah, I've really been sort of trying to mix that in a little bit, and it's been really nice. But overall, honestly, Willow Creek was like really fun, but it was also really difficult because low-key it could have just been a goth video. Like there's so much like lore tied to the goth household that it was really hard to want to branch out, because I kind of wanted to do something with Cassandra, but I think I'll just save that for my like goth remade video that I will eventually do when I'm not too intimidated by the goths themselves. But let me know what you think of these Sims. Let me know if you want to see more worlds done, because I definitely can do that. And I'll see you in the next video.